everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for being back. If you're new, you're so very welcome. So it is the Women's Month, and I am still talking about some of the females that we've had in the criminal justice system that have made headlines. I hope you guys are enjoying getting to know some of them, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this particular video. Today I will be speaking about Ellen Pakkies, who created a whole sensation back in 2007 when she committed her crime. So yeah, don't forget to comment, like, share the video, and if you haven't, please do subscribe. So yeah, let's get into Ellen Pakkies. So Ellen was about 47, 48 at the time of her offense. She was living in Lavender Hill in Cape Town, and she was known as a loving mother, an outstanding citizen in the community. She was also a religious woman, but in her childhood, she had endured a lot of pain and suffering. She had been through like a lot of abuse. Like her parents were poor, and they were actually drug and alcohol abusers, so she had just been exposed to a lot of dysfunction from a young age, and also there was nobody there to protect her. She had been raped, she had been gang raped, sodomized, kidnapped at a very young and tender age. Like, she had experienced so much, and she had nobody to protect her, because also the people she was living with were also part of her abusers, you know what I mean? So yeah, she had nobody to protect her, nobody to guide her, nobody to like run to, I guess. So at the age of 13, she runs away from home and becomes homeless. She lives on the streets, and she's eating from dustbins, and then eventually turns to prostitution in order to make money. Like, I think I read that she thought, like, everything that was happening to her, she thought it was normal, like all the abuse she was going through, because she didn't know any different, you know what I mean? So anyway, at the age of 18, she gets married, but then she gets divorced at 21, and then she marries her second husband at the age of 24, but then at the age of 26 they divorce. And then later years, she eventually remarries her second husband, who allegedly had threatened to kill her. So yeah, like, the dysfunction and abuse is now running from childhood into adulthood. Yeah, so maybe also, if somebody threatens to kill you and you still like get back together with them, you know, it just speaks to the amount of like violence, or yeah, I don't know, that you have been exposed to, where to the point where you were willing to get back with somebody, or to be in a relationship with somebody who threatens to kill you. So basically, Ellen Pakkies strangled her son to death. So Adam, who's the son, was 20 years old at the time, and he had actually started using tick, the drug, when he was 14, and was apparently introduced to tick by one of his brothers. So he had this tick addiction, and he was very violent and very he just wasn't a nice person to have around, especially if you don't give him money, or yeah, if you don't support his addiction. Then he became very rowdy and caused, you know, ruckus around the house. So anyway, Ellen lived in a lot of fear with him around, you know, because if you don't give them money for their next fix, they could do anything. They steal, they kill, they rape for their next fix. So Ellen was very uncomfortable, and yeah, just not happy with his drug addict, or having him around when he is in that state, because he became very unpredictable. So on the day that Ellen killed him, apparently he had come home in the early mornings. He was high off of drugs, and he was taking a nap. So he lived at the back shack. At the back of Ellen's house there was a shack, and he lived in that shack. So anyway, Ellen wanted to talk to him about his drug habit. So she apparently picked up a rope like around the yard, in order to restrain him if he became violent while they were talking. So yeah, she picked up the rope, and then she went to his room, and then for some reason, when she got there, she just put the rope around his neck and started strangling him. and yeah, so he died. So after that, Ellen goes to where she works and tells her boss what she had done. Her boss then takes her to the police station, and yeah, Ellen um hands herself over to the police. So, as I had mentioned, she had endured a lot of abuse and suffering due to men in her past life, and I guess she just lived in a lot of fear for what his son could do. But then I think from reading, the biggest one was that she just feared that he was gonna rape her. And so she also says that she had tried getting help from the police, social workers, rehab centers, and I guess nobody helped her. So, they had to deal with this person who was addicted to drugs and became very unruly if they didn't get their next fix. So Ellen hands herself over to the police on the 12th of September 2007, and she's actually released on bail, on 1,000 rand bail. And the community actually collected funds in order to for her to to give her so that she can pay her bail. And there was no objection from the community for her to wait trial while she's at home, because they actually supported her, because they knew the hardships of having this drug problem in their community. They knew the effects of having a child who was addicted to drugs or alcohol. Like, it was just drugs were ruining their whole community. So therefore they supported her and kind of understood how she got to the point that she got to, because they experienced also different types of crimes that are as a result of drugs or alcohol in their community. Also, some sources say that she actually built a home haven for 10 people, some of them being blood relatives. So she kind of built a safety home, like a place where people can just go, I guess, if they're homeless or going through something. So that's just the kind of person she was in the community, and that's why I guess the community wanted to support her. Yeah, so they kind of went through the hardships as a community. I think also maybe as parents in the community, because maybe most of the trouble was from the children in the community. During her trial, Ellen had told the court that Adam had been terrorizing her and her husband for many years. He would break windows, he would assault her in fits of rage, he would steal, but eventually at the court decided that there were substantial and compelling circumstances as to why she should get a lesser sentence. Also, the fact that she had asked for help. She had tried the police, she had tried social workers, she had tried rehab centers, and nobody helped her. So they feel like the state just failed her. So that was another reason that played part. So they sentenced in 2008. She was sentenced to 3 years suspended and 280 hours of community service. After which she became a community worker. So basically leading the fight against drugs in the community. So after her sentencing, obviously the case stirred up a lot of discussion around whether, was she a victim who was led to this horrible crime? Like, even though she was a victim also, is it okay for her to just not serve time at all and basically walk away as a free woman? So there was a lot of chat around that to say, at the end of the day somebody died and she is just being let free, without. So basically some people felt she wasn't being held responsible. So during her trial also, there was a clinical psychologist who had said that all these years of abuse that Ellen had endured had actually kind of erupted in the moment that she killed her son. It had all come to a head, and actually said that she was in a state of disassociation, meaning that there was Ellen, the loving mother who wanted to protect and take care of her child throughout this whole tick addiction. And then there was Ellen, who was the abused woman who eventually killed her son. So granted, there's all those circumstances and explanations, but some people just felt like, you know, at the end of the day, somebody did die, and so they felt like she needed to be held responsible for that. So also her case brought light to the drug problem that was in her community, and what effect that drugs have on the families in the Cape Flats. And also I know in later years she lost a grandson to tick and gangsterism, and Adam's brother actually started using tick. So there was still a lot of tick issues, a lot of drug issues, a lot of other crime issues in her family, even after her ordeal with the court. And yeah, there was still a lot of drug related dysfunctional situations that were still present in her family. So Ellen eventually became a anti-drug activist. She taught schools, you know, just giving hope and encouragement to pupils who might be addicted to drugs or alcohol. And on these tours, she actually talks about how she strangled her son, and she just felt like relieved. She felt like 48 years of pain and suffering leave her body when she strangled her son. So there's a movie that was made about Ellen's life. It's called Ellen, the story from Ellen Pakkies, which was released in cinemas on the 7th of September in 2018. And there's also a book that was inspired by her called Dealing with Death, Ellen Pakkies and a Community Struggle with Tick. So yeah, you guys can check those out, you know, if you want other details. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to do all the nice things below: subscribe, like, comment, and share the video as well. If there's anything else you know about Ellen Pakkies that I didn't mention, you are more than welcome to comment in the comment section. I will see you guys in the next video.